So today's video is like a sneak peek. We're going to talk about the BC Acoustique E24. Actually, Loïc's going to talk about it because he filmed a video for me. Now, Loïc, for those of you who don't follow me, makes videos for my channel once in a while, and he just recently started his own YouTube channel. Now, I'm going to put in the description, in the comment section, a link to his channel. I thought that his take on the new Tekton speakers that he recently bought, quite interesting. He also talked about the IOTAVX. Now, for those of you who are shopping for an integrated amp around $650 USD, you should wait for my review because this amp can do something that no other integrated amp can do within this price bracket, and Loïc will explain in the video. Now, just before I let you go, I just posted on my community page this crazy idea I have because I want to build an amp. And just go check it out and participate in the survey because I happen to have all the connections to make it happen. So quite excited about that. All right, guys, so let's take a look at the video from Loïc.
Ladies and gentlemen, we have the BC Acoustiques EX214 today, courtesy of Thomas and Stereo. Yeah. All right, so I had fun with a few, I guess I'll call them budget integrated amps. I had the BC Acoustiques, I compared it to the IOTAVX, I compared it to the Yamaha, I forgot the model number of the Yamaha, I'll be right back. This one, Yamaha Multicast. How does it sound? It sounds pretty good. I tested it with a few different speakers. I tested it with a pair of sound artists. I tested them with some Focals 1008 BEs. I tested them with Tekton 210 Perfect Sets. And I got a chance to test them with the Verity Fidelos. Overall, I think this amp is great for someone who is starting out in the non-commercial audiophile world. Even non-commercial is something you're not going to find at Best Buy. Overall, it's fully loaded. It's an all-in-one. It's got tone controls. It has a built-in DAC. It has a lovely V-curve loudness button. We'll talk about that in a minute. It's got a headphone jack, so it's got a built-in headphone amp. It's got a bunch of auxiliary ins. You got a Toslink optical in, you have a coaxial digital in, and you have 3 or 4 outputs. And you can see that on our website and look at the backplate. What struck me about this one compared to the other 2 integrated amplifiers that are in the same price range was this was the only one I found that gave rock music justice, thanks to that lovely loudness button. That loudness button kind of changes the game when it comes to like old school bad rock recordings. That little button changes it completely because it accentuates the V curve, the highs are more fun, the bass is more punchy, and it was the same across all 4 pairs of speakers that I tried it with. It was a lot of fun. It's very responsive, the remote's nice as well. It's light, but it gets the job done. It's very responsive. It's not something that you gotta sit there and point ferociously to get it to work. Overall, very nice. I think that if you have a $1,000 to $1,500 budget for your system, I would definitely recommend this one with a matching pair of speakers in the equivalent price range with a high enough sensitivity actually to, I'd say anything over 89 dB of sensitivity in 8 ohms would be nice. Why I say that? Because I found that out of all the speakers I tested, the ones that were a little bit more difficult to drive, which were the Focal 1008 BEs, those are the ones that I found that had the poorest result when it came to bass. Everything else was fine. It's just that when you wanted the overall presentation, you wanted the highs, the mids, and you wanted good bass to follow with it. It was fine with the Verities, it was fine with the sound artists. I forgot to mention also, it was fine with the Klipsch. I tried a pair of Klipsch RP, I'll say 26F, I may be wrong. If I am, I'll write it down here. And of course, Tektons. The Tektons are sensitive, sound artists are sensitive, the Klipsch are very sensitive. So all of the sensitive / efficient speakers performed really well. You had a really good punch in the bass, you had definition in the bass. The mid-range was nice. I can't say that it was warm or cold. It felt nice and neutral, and the highs were very pleasant and non-fatiguing. It gave a decent soundstage also. I had a nice soundstage between all the 4 pairs of speakers or 5 pairs of speakers that I tried. The soundstage went from speaker to speaker. It didn't exaggerate. It didn't go beyond that. It felt very lifelike as far as size. The objects in the soundstage were very lifelike in size. After I got over my initial, how can I say this? My initial divorce period from coming off of testing a bunch of high-end integrated amps on all tubes. When I got back to solid state, Thomas warned me. He said, he's like, change your expectations. He says, because the first 24 hours that you're going to spend listening to this, your mind is going to be comparing to all the things that you just tested. And he was absolutely right. Stopped the music after an hour. I said, okay, no, this ain't for me right now. Came back to it the next day with a completely refreshed mind and a different attitude and different perspective. Sat down, started all my usual tracks. Went from opera, went from jazz to classic rock to more modern rock. A few classical tracks as well. I found they all sounded pretty good. And when you need it, you have the loudness button that, like I said, accentuates that V curve. So yeah, overall, nice little integrated amp. I have no problems recommending this in this price range at all. Wonderful.
Didn't that sound amazing? Made you want to buy one? I stand by what I said. But let me just ground myself. What was I disappointed at in this unit, even given its price range? There was one thing, the only one thing for me that's worth talking about, is that this device doesn't seem to scale as nicely as some of its competitors in the same range. Here's what I mean. Whether I listen to music with the built-in DAC or with an external $1,000, $3,000 DAC, same result. Sound was the same. Honestly, I thought I was hallucinating. Gave it a few days, tried it again. Nope, same thing. Still good. It's decent, fun. You know, foot tapping, pleasant to listen to. However, there is no point with this device in putting or getting an external DAC, in my opinion, based on what I've experimented with. Which ones did I try? I tried the Musical Paradise MPD1. I tried the Musical Paradise MPD2. So the first one is about $350. The second one is $550. I tried the Mcintosh D100, which is about $3,000. And all three gave the same result, same sound. Weird. Anyway, that's it.